Hi guys, I'm back with another video and I am going to talk all about my wedding. Sorry, our dog got spayed, so she's rolling around with her coat on her head. You can probably see her. So in this video, I'm going to talk all about my wedding. I think I'm going to break this up into two parts because it's kind of a lot. So bear with me, we'll see where this video goes and then I'll see where I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, okay, so let's get started. So I got married at the end of September and I think we'll just talk about the whole process of it first. So picking a venue is probably like the first thing that you want to do just to make sure that you have your venue. So I chose a resort in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So I'm from Wisconsin. At the time, actually, when I chose it, I was in Iowa, so it kind of worked out that we chose it in Wisconsin. And Lake Geneva is pretty close to where my mom lives, and so it was a nice central area because I know my mom would be helping with a lot of these things. And so I decided to get married close to where my family is just because I and my mom will be doing majority of the planning. Now, Zach's family lives in Omaha, so when I was thinking about all of that, I thought that, hold on, I need to let the dog out. So then when planning all of that, I was thinking I wanted a place for his family to enjoy to come to, since it'll kind of be a destination wedding for them. I'll have to drive like 8 hours to come here. So that's why I chose the Abbey Resort. I also chose the Abbey Resort because they had a tent option. I wanted to get the reception to be in a tent. I don't know why, I always had it in my mind that I wanted a tent, and so there they had a tent, but it was also a pavilion. It was like a tent, but it was temperature controlled, so if it was super hot that day we would turn on the air in there, and then if it was super cold, you could turn on the heat. So that was awesome, and I also wanted to pick a spot that had their own catering, their own chairs, so like a place that put on weddings normally, because I didn't want to hire from outside. So when you choose a tent, a lot of the times you're just renting the tent, you're renting the area that you're setting up the tent, but then it's up to you to get, you know, caterers, chairs, tables, all of that stuff, service, like everything like that. And to me, picking a spot that already had it was really beneficial for me, so that's why I decided to go with that. Now, save the dates. With the save the dates and for my invitations, I wanted to DIY it all my own. So I knew I would be able to save money if I just did it myself. So save the dates. I don't have a physical save the date. I think I either sent them all out or they're in a box somewhere. I really don't know where they are, but here they are right here. I will put a picture of them. So the picture that I used was from our engagement shoot. Our photographer that we hired also incorporated an engagement shoot plus the wedding photo, so that was super awesome. I highly recommend going with a photographer that offers that, or getting your engagement photos done by the photographer that is actually shooting your wedding, because it comes in really handy with being comfortable, and then he or she knows you, and it's just easier, and she knows where your insecurities are and stuff prior to the wedding. And so we did our engagement shoot in downtown Milwaukee, which was awesome. And then so I chose this picture for the save the date. I wanted one where we were just looking at the camera, we were smiling, really happy. And then I did all of this in Illustrator. So I actually looked at minted.com, which is a great wedding stationery website, but it is a little pricey. So I was actually just looked at their like little templates, and I kind of was like, okay, I can do this myself on Adobe Illustrator. So I went in Adobe Illustrator and did the whole thing, and then I sent it to Vistaprint to get printed. Now, I loved Vistaprint to get all of this printed. I did it for everything. I'm not sponsored by Vistaprint at all. I only have 2,000 subscribers, so trust me, none of this stuff is sponsored. This was all by my own money and what I felt worked, so keep that in mind. I'm not sponsored by anything, I'm just telling you what worked for me. And so I went with Vistaprint because A, it was the easiest thing to set up, and B, it was cheaper. They always have promo codes going on, so I got like 50% off. Also with Vistaprint, you get envelopes and everything, so I just used the envelopes that they got, and I sent all of those out. So yes, so now moving towards, let's just move into invitations then. So I decided to design all my invitations, and I actually have one right here. I don't have all the parts of the invitation, but I have the actual invitation right here. So this is what I came up with. I designed this myself. So originally I thought that I would be able to draw flowers and then put them into Adobe Illustrator and just do it that way. It turned out being a little bit more difficult. I'm artistic, but I'm not that artistic. So I decided to buy a vector set. So if you look at this right here, these roses around the invitation were from a vector set that I bought on, I forgot what the website is. I'm not sure, I'll put it right here. I'm not exactly sure what the website is, but that's where I bought it from, and it was probably like $25, and it was great, and I used it on all of the parts of my invitation. I only have this part of my invitation. I literally used up to the up to the last one. But I can put a picture of all my my details, and if you want to, I can go more in detail of how I designed my own invitations in a different video that will take forever. But so I did this in Adobe Illustrator. I put this here, I did all the text, I found fonts, and then I sent it over to Vistaprint to get printed. So all of the cards I did in Adobe Illustrator and I sent to Vistaprint. So it was a little bit, it was a little difficult online, like sizing and everything like that, but at the end of the day it was a lot easier than going to Office Max. I did visit Office Max and talk to the guy there, but I just didn't feel confident going there. I didn't know how exactly it would turn out, and my save the dates turned out great for, I decided to just do the same thing. So I chose a nicer paper option that they give you, and yeah, then we rolled with there. So another thing though, so I decided to not use the envelopes that they give you for these cards. I decided to purchase my own. I purchased my own envelopes at lcipaper.com. I just felt like they had a very wide selection and they were the cheapest. So the vision I had for my invitations was I wanted an outer envelope and I wanted an inner envelope. So I wanted the outer envelope to have their name. I wanted to do cool calligraphy myself, and then I wanted to put the inner envelope in there. So I'll show you what I did. I'm just gonna kind of cover up this girl's invitation. She ended up not coming to the wedding, so it actually never got sent out. So anyways, I drew all of my own calligraphy, and honestly, it took a long time, but I really feel like it was worth it. I got so many compliments on it, and I feel like it made people really excited for the wedding. If that's not something that's important to you, don't feel like you have to do it. You can print it out on stickers, whatever, but I just really wanted to do this. So I actually wrote it all out with pencil first, so I would write it in pencil on how I wanted it to look, and then I took a marker and I over it and I accentuated the downstrokes. So just like that, and then I did buy this envelope stencil, and you probably see it all over Pinterest. Well, I gave into it and got it. Are you okay? And it helped a lot with this address part down below. So this was like a pink kind of, it was like a pink pearled texture, and then inside here is the actual name of the person. Because the outside said Mr. and Mrs. with the last name, I did put their first name. So if their name was John and Patty, I put John and Patty Miller or whatever. So that is that right there, and I just really think that they turned out really good. So that was that. Now, as opposed to vendors, so how I chose my vendors was I kind of just looked online and looked at reviews. For my photographer, I wanted to go more expensive because I knew that these pictures would be what I would be looking at for the rest of my life. And so I decided to just go with a photographer and not do a videographer. I don't know how beneficial it would have been for me to do a videographer. Looking back right now, I kind of wish I did, but like I feel like I would just look at it once and then it would be like, see you later. So I decided to not do a videographer and spend the most money on my photographer. My photographer, if you're in the Milwaukee area, it is Heather Elliott Cook Photography, and she was amazing. It was one of her employees, Sarah, or no, Emily, her assistant was Sarah, and they did, oh my god, they did such an amazing job. It was more beautiful than I could ever imagine. We were a little bit more on the pricier end, but they did an engagement shoot. They did the whole wedding with 2 photographers, and they gave us 2 albums at the end. So that was really awesome. So I haven't got my album yet. I have to get back to her. Oh crap, I have to get back to her. Kind of how I chose my, I looked up online and I looked at all her work, and that's kind of how I chose. budget really wasn't an option for me with the photographer. I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to go with. And then my florist, I chose one in the area, and I chose one that I felt, I don't know, I felt more comfortable with. Me and my mom went and visited her shop, and I saw what she did, and I kind of just decided, I was like, yeah, this is great, this is what's right. She was a little flaky, I do have to say. She missed one of our meetings, and then we like had to wait around for her, so that was kind of frustrating, but she did a really great job. I loved my bouquet. I loved the girls' bouquets. I can put pictures here. And the inside, so we decided to go with my bouquet. We decided to go, so I wanted my bouquet to be all white basically, so I did all white on my bouquet, and then for all the girls we did colors, and then all the boutonnieres did colors, and then my mom and my mother-in-law got corsages. So unfortunately, Zach's grandparents weren't able to make it because his grandfather wasn't doing well, so we didn't have any grandfather or grandmother things. But she did a really great job. She arrived on time. It was really awesome. And inside, she did a really great job too. I decided to just do low centerpieces because I was just, that's just what I was feeling. And then she did send her floral chandelier, which I think just looked amazing. I was so happy with that. And then, oh, she did like lighted trees inside of the tent. So I think it really turned out really pretty. I'm not gonna get into decor. I think I'll do that on my next video. But for my DJ, again, I just looked one up. I decided to go with one that was a flat fee as opposed to hourly, just because it was a flat fee. They did the lighting. He came in and they were really easy to work with. They were called Platinum DJ in Milwaukee. So if you're interested, if you're in that area, that's who I used. And yeah, they did uplighting for free. I was kind of pissed off because I specifically said I just wanted white uplighting, and when you got in there, it was like red. I was like, what is going on? So anyways, whatever. You can't, the thing is about a wedding is like you can't expect everything to go perfectly. I picked the whole playlist. He told me that he never had a bride do that, but like I'm so picky about music that I did all the playlists. I did the cocktail hour playlist, and I did the, and I did the whole reception, and he did put in a little bit of his own stuff, which I'm again not really happy about, but anyways, it's fine. I think that's all I'll cover for this video. I think my next video will be about my dress, my bridesmaid's dress, the tuxes, and perhaps the wedding reception decor that I made, like DIY stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about anything that I just talked about, you can leave them down below. And so again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!